Hello my Beatles friends, welcome back to the new video, to another press review video, and this one is going to be very long and difficult one to make. Since we have this crisis going on out there, we have to enjoy the beautiful day from behind a closed window, or maybe from a balcony. But I have plenty of time, and today I'm gonna do a press review video of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. How many copies do I have in my collection? That much. So, let me slowly show you what I have. So this is the first mono pressing, which is a 4th proof. This is another mono pressing 4th proof. This is a mono pressing, not 4th proof, but with different cover, which I will be explaining you in detail in my GoPro mode. This is a patents pending version. This is mono pressing, not 4th proof and non-patents pending. This is exactly the same as the last one. This is a mono pressing with white spine. This is a first British stereo pressing. This is a 1969 British stereo pressing. Then we have first German pressing, second German pressing, then we have 1978 German picture disc pressing, then we have Colombia first pressing, then we have South Africa first pressing, then we have semi-official Russian pressing from 1992, and finally 2017 repress double version. And that's the hype sticker. Okay, so a little bit background. Released June the 1st, 1967. This is the Beatles' 8th album. And the first one released after they stopped touring. Beatles wanted to hide themselves behind some other band. So they decided to give themselves another name, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And this is mostly Paul McCartney's idea, concept, and Peter Blake is the designer of this cover. That's the back, that's how it looks like, and this is the first ever album to feature lyrics on the rear side. There was no other album before that to have lyrics in the somewhere in the sleeve. And this is the second time Beatles release a gatefold album with the one single album. The first one would be, of course, Beatles for Sale. One of the mistakes that George Martin did with this album is that he didn't include Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane single on this album, because that single was released earlier in 1967 due to contract pressure and Brian Epstein saying that we have to release some kind of a single, because from August 66 there was no new material, so they were kind of pressed to release something new. We know that here on this place should be the face of Indian leader Gandhi, and here behind John's shoulder this is Albert Einstein. We don't see his face, but we see his hair. Also Adolf Hitler was considered for this cover, but he was moved away, thankfully. Okay, so let's go now to the GoPro mode. I will show you every detail about the cover, and then we'll talk about the sound. So hello, we're back in a GoPro mode, and we're talking about the covers of Sgt. Pepper. So this one I cannot open because it's my mint condition 4th proof cover and it's closed. But I have another one, so I will show you another one, but just briefly to show you my mint condition 4th proof cover. So that is the 4th proof cover. How do we know? What is the 4th proof? 4th proof is the early version cover that was presented to the Beatles for the approval before it was officially released. So, as you can see, the original pressing have kind of darker colors. It's not so colorful, not so bright. Now, here on the back side, what we notice is that we have lyrics.
Here on top we do have a credits like long play, 33 and 3rd RPM, PMC, the catalog number, and mono, the year of 67. And here we have the rest of the credits. But what's important is that we have here printed and made by Gardner Lofthouse, patents pending. This is the first giveaway that it's a first pressing. Now, there are two versions of patents pending, one which is the 4th proof and one without. This is the 4th proof, and how do we see that? We have to open the gatefold, and here we see a beautiful picture of the Beatles. And if we look closer to the edges, we see here black marks, and also here above George's head we have here 4th proof. Now this is the 4th proof version. That's what you have to look at. These two signs. Okay, so if you see from the outside, from the back cover, patents pending, you might have 4th proof. Now, the version that does have patents pending, but it's not 4th proof, looks as the following. You see the colors are a bit brighter, a bit more colorful, not as dark as the first one. Here on the back, you see patents pending. Everything is the same, but here we don't have the black signs. So this is the variation 2 of the cover. Now let's concentrate on the covers first, and then we talk about the records. So this is another version. Here we already do not have patents pending, and naturally here we do not have 4th proof, but rest is the same. Then we have another version, looks pretty much the same. I mean, no differences. The spine here is damaged. This is the worst condition cover that I have. And here in the back, I also have the tape here. So this one is the most damaged one. But here we don't have patents pending. Here we have mono, and if we open the gatefold, we don't have here 4th proof. So this is the same as the others. Now, this one, as you can see, also is a bit brighter. Here we do not have patents pending. Here we have mono, and here inside we do not have the 4th proof. But what's interesting about this one, that this is a white spine. I mean, if we compare, this is the white spine and this is the normal spine. So that's the only difference. So now it's time to talk about the records. I won't be showing you all the records, I will just show you the ones that have differences. So, what do we see here? We see here a Parlophone logo, sold in UK as usual. This is the catalog number, PMC. Here we have a day in the life, and one of the rare copies is that mono doesn't have a day in the life credited on the label. This is a very rare copy to find. Here we have the matrix number, a year of release, the gramophone. I mean, all the things are regular here. Sometimes it's possible that here in sold in UK, between IN and U there is an extra dot. Here we do not have the extra dot. Sometimes here after Mr. Kite there is no space, but these are minor things. Now this one is going to be interesting because on the first side we see here sold in UK, and between IN and U there is an extra dot. This is, I would not say very rare, but stands out. So let's open another one. Yeah, here we can clearly see KT text code, and here we do not have the extra dot, and here also we do not have extra dot. So pretty much the same, standard. So we have two more to go, and as the way I see it, everything is a standard. Yeah, This one exactly the same. I mean, no difference. Here we can see KT on the second side, on the side 2. And the last one, it also does not have an extra dot. So I have only one copy, mono with extra dot. As you can see here, we have 4 covers. 3 of them do not have patents pending, and 1 of them does have patents pending. And here we have another one which is also patents pending, but the other one patents pending is the 4th proof. So there are 3 types of covers possible, and also we have to look at the white spine. One more thing that is interesting about British copies is that British copies have this kind of inner sleeve, which is called a psychedelic inner sleeve or something like that. So let's first of all talk about the inner sleeve. That's the inner sleeve, that's how it looks like. Very interesting. There's a psychedelic inner sleeve. And also the Sgt. Pepper album is known for having this beauty, which is the cut-out inner sheet. So it has here mustache, picture card, stripes, badges, and stand-up. Okay, so this is the badges, this is the stand-up, this is the picture card, these are the stripes, and this is the mustache. So that's the cutout sheet that comes. I keep all my cutout sheets together. You see, I have one from America printed in USA. Unfortunately, my American version was damaged. Okay, so that was the British pressings, the mono British pressings. Now we have stereo British pressing. This is the cover of the British pressing. On the back we do not have patents pending, but here we have stereo. Here I have the cutout sheet again, and my psychedelic inner sleeve is with the monos. So there is not such a big difference here. The cover is exactly the same. Sometimes with the stereo covers there is one misprint. As you can see here, this is a stereo recording. On the monos it says this is a mono recording. But what's interesting that sometimes it has here the stereo, but here it says this is a mono recording. So this one happens in the transition cover somewhere around 1969. So this is a later pressing. So this mistake can be found only with the 3rd or 4th pressing, not with the first one. So this is the cutout sheet, and let's look at the label of the stereo. And the stereo label looks as the following, exactly as the mono, only here it says PCS, the catalog number, and here it says stereo. That's it. And the matrix number is YEX 638-1. But what's interesting about this pressing is that my stereo pressing is also with the extra dot here between IN and U. And that's the only difference. Now let's talk about the 3rd pressing, which is from 1969, late 1969. As we all know, in 69 the Parlophone changed their logo from silver black to, from a yellow black to silver black, but the cover was not affected. Okay, here we have as well. So this is a stereo recording without patents pending, and here we have stereo on top, and the spine is not that wide. And if we look at the gatefold, we don't have any other signs or anything. But this one came with the insert of the cutout sheet, which is, I have already shown you, and it's with all the others. But this one is on silver black Parlophone label from late 69. Stereo PCS, made in Great Britain, with only one EMI box. When you see a pressing with one EMI box, you know that it's from late 69. Now, the stereo pressing of that issue is not as rare as mono, because stereos were released all the albums, but monos were released only Please Please Me, Help, and Sgt. Pepper. And finding Sgt. Pepper with mono in this label is very rare. And with only one EMI box, like I said, you know that it's 69. If you have here two EMI boxes stereo, this is already a pressing from the 70s. And this one came without a psychedelic inner sleeve. It came with this kind of standard sleeve. German pressing. German pressing is also very beautiful, very nice and colorful. The colors are brighter, and here we have this Herzu special hype sticker, Electrola. The catalog number is SHZE401. Okay. The back looks pretty much the same. Here we have on top, here we have only 67 without any other stereos or catalog numbers. All the information comes here. Here we have Odeon label. The text here is a little bit smaller. It says here, staged by Peter Blake and John Haworth, photographed by Michael Cooper, wax figures by Madame Tussaud, and the splendid time is guaranteed for all is the lyric from the Benefit of Mr. Kite. And here it says printed in Germany, in French and in Spanish. Sorry, I don't speak neither Spanish nor French. And here inside we have the gatefold, which is exactly the same as the others. But what's interesting about German pressing, that it has this kind of inner sleeve. This is a custom-made inner sleeve only for German pressing. As you can see, there are stripes, red, white, and pink, I would say. This one is very rare to get. Most of the German pressings you find, you will not find that inner sleeve. So I'm very happy that I have it. And of course it comes with a cutout sheet, which I don't have it here, I have it here. So this is the cutout sheet, and it says here printed in Germany, and it doesn't have the names of the credits. And the colors are a bit brighter in comparison to the American or British ones. Now let's look at the label. The label comes with a golden circle on white, red Herzu Odeon label. And what do we see here? We see here Odeon label stereo with two Herzu labels on the sides. Here is the Gamma Right Society. Here we see the catalog number. Also here catalog number here. We see that the text here is in German. 2ST33 in circles. So rest is the pretty much the same as all the others. Only Revolver is very strange, because Revolver has this kind of Odeon label, but Herzu is pressed on top in the black, and Sgt. Pepper doesn't have it. Sgt. Pepper has two Herzu labels on the sides. So this is how the first German pressing looks like. Now let's look at the second German pressing. The second German pressing does not have the hype sticker here. The back cover is a bit brighter. It doesn't have text here and the same text here, but the red color is a bit brighter. And what's also interesting is that it doesn't have the flips here. So this is the first pressing that does not have flips. All the others that I have shown you before, including first German and all the British ones, do have the flips. This is the first pressing that does not have flips. So this is the record. This comes on blue Odeon label with EMI logo, with only one Herzu, new Herzu logo on the side. There is another version with two Herzu labels on the left and the right. This one that I have has the logo only on the right. And the rest is the same. Here we have Gamma, stereo, catalog number, and here we have the sides, and here we have the song list and the writer's name. So it says here made in Germany. And if you find this logo here also on the left side, you know that it's, you know, another variation of German later pressing. Okay? Sometimes they can be on both sides, two logos. Sometimes it can be on one side only one logo, on the other side two logos. So it's varying. So, but generally that's how the later pressing of Germany looks like. German pressing picture disc. From the back, it looks like the British one. Here it says long play 33 p.m., but it's here PHO, not PCS. The catalog number stereo, and here it says sleeve printed and made by Great Britain by Gardner Lofthouse Ltd, record manufactured in West Germany. So that's an interesting one. These are the very strange credits. And if you take out the record, it's not gatefold. And here we have the same picture on both sides. The only difference is that here we have side 1 on top and then side 2. But what's interesting about this one is that in the with matrix numbers here on the groove we have 7027A, but on side 1 it says for George and Mabel. But on the other side we have catalog number PHO7027B1, and it says here, let me read it to you, another winner from Ernie. So that's interesting. I don't know what does it mean, what these writings here mean. Write me in the comment section below, please. So once again, on side 1 we have PHO7027A, but on the B side, on the second side, we have the catalog number, which is PHO7027B1. What does it mean? I don't know. So if anybody knows what those writings mean, let me know. Okay, so let's go to Colombian pressing. Colombian pressing is interesting because it comes with all the Latin American, South American pressings have this kind of non-removable sleeve. Now, here on top we have Estereofonico, I think it's stereo, and here we have the hype sticker, Discos Serie Internacional. Okay. Now, the cover looks a little bit blurry, not focused. The printing is not in the best quality. And what's distinguishable here, that everything is zoomed. As you can see, that the cover has been zoomed and the faces are cut and the doll here is cut and here on bottom is also cut. So the picture is zoomed. And here on the back it's also zoomed. You see that side 1 is almost on the edge. And what's interesting here, that the back picture is black and white transparent, not the colorful as we know. So that is the most distinct back cover that I have, with a transparent black and white picture. Very interesting. So here we have the logo, here we have the catalog number, and here it says something in Colombian, I don't understand anything, and here it says Colombia, Produccio something, I don't speak Spanish, sorry. So here are the credits, and this is not the gatefold, of course. It doesn't come with the inner sleeve or cutout sheet, nothing. The label looks like this. This is an Odeon called Discos Internacional. Here it says the name, side 1, the catalog number, song listing, and that's it. Now, this is not the first pressing. The first pressing came on a black label. This is a later pressing. I'm not sure what year. So, next one. This is South African pressing. The colors is not as colorful. It's kind of dark themed, you know. And if we look at the back cover, it's not gatefold as well. And the color is damaged here by the sun. So we have kind of trim here, which is brighter and damaged my cover. And the catalog number is PCSJ7027. Quite a contrary to Colombian, which was zoomed. This is zoomed out. The other one was zoomed in, this is zoomed out. So we have a lot of spaces here. The picture of the Beatles is colorful and very nice, visible. Here we have some kind of an important warning. The labels are, the logos are on the sides. And here we have also a hype sticker on the back side. But I think it was glued later. Okay. So here are the copy of these British credits. So I have to say that it's a bit poorly made. But anyway, rare copy to have. And here we have stereo on top and not as bright colors as expected. It comes with this original South African inner sleeve, stereo, but it says here made in England. But it says here foreign patents pending. So let's look at the label. The label is on black Parlophone label. It doesn't say where it was made. It doesn't say the country. It says here pressed for or by registered user. Here we have the song listing. Here we have the name of the album, the catalog number, Parlophone stereo. This is just looks like the British one. And here we have all the texts, and it doesn't say the country where it was made. It says here Northern Songs, the publisher of course, and stereo and the speed, but it doesn't say where it was made. It doesn't say the country. And also not on the grooves. But what's interesting about this one, that on both sides of this record, on both, we have here letters embossed. I'm not sure if you can see it. On side 1 we have 4 times E, and on the B side we have X and XXAA. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but here we have XXAA, and on the other side we have 4 times E. So maybe this is the tax code in South Africa, I don't know. So that's the South African label looks like. Let's go to the Russian, semi-official. Now, this one is very interesting because, first of all, we have 2 extra faces. Here we have a face of a man who is Andrei Tropilo. This is a record producer, and he's the owner of that label, and that's the logo of the label. And here we have, instead of Karl Marx, we have here the face of Kolya Vasin. He was the best and the biggest Beatles collector in Soviet Union and Russia, and he was the one who sent a letter to John Lennon, and in 1971 he received an album, Live Peace in Toronto, signed by John with 2 autographs. Sadly, this man passed away a couple of years ago, but he's remembered. Now, this one is a double one with the gatefold, and here we have this line, the strip with the Russian titles of the songs. And as you can see, the picture is very yellowish. Now, this one is Sgt. Pepper, and this one is Revolver. As we all know, this one comes with a revolver, but we are not talking about Revolver, we are talking about Sgt. Pepper. But what's also interesting about this pressing is that it comes with this inner sheet. And here we have all the faces numbered, and we have the list of all the faces and all the items that are presented here. But what's interesting about this one, that this list does not fit the British pressings. It fits only this one. Why? Because that face here, number 8, is been added. So from number 9, all the numbers are switched by 1. So whatever has to be on the place number 32, here it appears on number 33, and so on. So because of that phase that was added here, rest of the numbers are shifted by 1. So this one is very unique inner sheet that fits only this Russian pressing. And number 32, it says here Kolya Vasin instead of Karl Marx, but it has to be 31. So anyway, it says here collectioner, the creator and owner of first Beatles museum in Russia. Okay, so, and here it also says this one was removed because Leo Gorsi, requested a fee, and then Gandhi was removed. And here we have sleeve notes by George Martin and Peter Blake, and it's been translated to Russian. And it says here 30th of March 1967, the crowd gathered. Chelsea Mayor in London. So that inner sheet is very, very unique. So this is the Russian pressing, and let's look at the label. The Russian label looks like this. Not so much information, only the catalog number, stereo, logo, and the song names. That's it. Like I said, this is not fully official, this is semi-official. Or, I don't know, maybe it was not official at all. And here comes the last one, but not the least. This is the repress from 2017. Not 1917, 2017. And this is the very beautiful, very beautiful copy. And here it says the catalog number and the EN, as we know today. So these are the credits. And this is the gatefold. And this has 2 records, and it has 2 inner sleeves, and it has 1 cutout sheet. Okay? So, that was the sleeves of Sgt. Pepper. And also, one more thing that I have to note is that the song With a Little Help from My Friends on all the sleeves is written as A Little Help from My Friends. So, maybe it's a misprint, but it appears on all of them. Okay? So let's go back to the normal mode and talk about the sound.
Okay, so we're back to the normal mode, and we're going to talk about the sound. I made a notes, and I'm going to read it to you. So, since I have 6 mono pressings, British mono pressings, I will refer everything to one, because there's, aside from the cover and differences on the label that I already showed you, in sound there is not so much difference. So I will refer to these 6 pressings as one. Okay, so what can I say about that? I mean, UK mono pressings we all know that are the best. It's loud, the bass is very loud and it's clear, the high frequencies are okay, voice is centered. I mean, this is very loud, just all the others. So I mean, all the other albums in this mono pressing. So I give this mono pressings 10 out of 10 because it sounds the best and it's the example how it should sound. I was really happy to add that I have 6 copies, and since all of them have the same matrix, XAX -1, so there is not so much difference. So for me, this pressing is 10 out of 10 without a question. Then we're talking about the first stereo pressing, which is the yellow black Parlophone label. And what can I say? It's also clear, also very loud. Voice is coming from the right, the instruments are coming from the left side. The basses are okay, both frequencies are okay, and I cannot say anything bad about this sound. I mean, yeah, you can hear the separation between the voice and instruments, but you know, also I have no complaints about this pressing. Well, mine is a bit old, is a bit used, and there is one little skip, but anyway, it's my copy. So in general, I have no problem against this pressing as well, so I give it 10 out of 10. And I have to say that Sgt. Pepper pressings, I mean, impressed me, all of them. There was no standout, which is very bad, so kind of difficult for me to choose. Okay, Now we are talking about the third stereo pressing, which is from 1969, is the same matrix as well. Exactly the same matrix, so no difference at all. So I tried to find the difference. I heard everything very loud, and I didn't hear much difference. So I can safely say that UK stereo third pressing from 1969 with one EMI box on silver black Parlophone label is no difference from the first one. So still 10 out of 10. Okay, now we go to three Germans. Two regulars and one picture disc. And the first German, which is the white and red label, once again, no problems here. Germans are the best, and this one surprised me because my other albums that were on white red label, like Revolver or Rubber Soul, I was disappointed with those albums, but this one really impressed me. It's very loud, clear bass, everything's okay, nothing is subdued, nothing is cut. It's very, very loud, and sometimes I had to just lower my stereo because it was too loud. And subs are okay, I mean everything's okay. So this red white label surprised me and give it 10 out of 10. Now on the other hand, the blue one, which is a later pressing, kinda is softer, is not so loud. The high frequencies are a bit cut, and you can hear that it's been made a little bit softer, I would say. So the high frequencies are a bit cut, the basses are okay, the surrounding and subwoofers are also okay, but the sound is not as loud as the first one. So I would say the high frequencies are a bit cut and it's made a bit softer. So I give it 9 out of 10. And the picture disc. Picture disc has background noise. I mean, the quality of picture discs, and we know that there is not as the regular pressings, because the picture discs are made for picture, for being beauty, for display, whatever you want to call it. But sounds good, but bass is a bit missing, so the low frequency is a bit cut. I mean, I had to put my subwoofer on maximum, and high frequencies are okay, loudness is okay, like I said, a bit background noise, but you know, the voice is coming from the right, instruments coming from the left, I mean, as usual in the stereo pressing. So I give it also, I would say I give it 8 out of 10. Okay, I give it 8 out of 10. And the two others, which are Colombia pressing and South Africa. Now, Colombia pressing, like I said before, first pressing, it's not the first pressing, it's a bit later pressing, because as we saw on the GoPro mode, it has a light green label. The first Colombian pressing, as I said, it's a black label. Now, the sound is very loud, high frequencies are okay, but the problem here in the Colombian pressing that I heard, the basses are much louder. The basses are up front, and the voices and the guitars and instruments are a little bit in the back. And you hear more the basses, like it hits your ears, the basses, the drums and everything, more than the sound, more than a voice. So that kind of I didn't like, because it's very up front. High frequencies are cut, like I said, it's not as loud, but the basses are very, very loud. So this one I didn't like. And because of that, I'm giving this pressing 7 out of 10. South Africa, the basses are okay. Once again, not so loud, not as loud as British. High frequencies are cut. But other things I liked. The basses are not as pointed out as Colombian. So South African I give 8 out of 10. And now we are talking about Russian. I mean, Russian kind of surprised me. I mean, it's a good copy. It's a good copy from the originals. A bit softer, I would say, not as loud as British, but no particular complaints about this one. So I give it 8 out of 10. Mostly because of the issue of the paper, the cover is very bad quality. And 2017 repress, made by Giles Martin, is one of the best. What can we say? High frequencies, low frequencies, basses, voices, everything is great. So 10 out of 10 without a question. Okay, so as you can understand, the worst copy that I have is Colombian. I mean, personally, I do not like Colombian because I heard the basses and I don't hear the voice and instruments as much as I wanted to hear, but I hear the bass like boom, boom. So this one I didn't like. And for me, the best, as usual, is the British mono pressing. But Germans are also okay, and 2017 is a must-have because it's already out of print. You can buy the picture disc, you can buy the box, you can buy the single disc, but the double disc with the studio demos, I think it's already out of print, so it's kind of rare to have. And yeah, that's it. That was all I wanted to say. So the difference among the versions is not so big as you can see. I mean, most of them have 10 or 9 out of 10, and only 2 have 8, and only 1 has 7 out of 10. So Sgt. Pepper album is very, very common and considered to be one of the best of the Beatles, and it's #1 in Rolling Stone list. But some people say that the best is Abbey Road, some say that the Revolver. Anyway, I'm not going to argue about that. But Sgt. Pepper album is not that rare to find. Even fourth proof, even the stereo, I mean, it's not that rare to find. As you can see, I have 6 copies of mono. I could have another 4, but what for? The only thing that I have to mention is that the 2 rare copies of Sgt. Pepper to find, this is the mono pressing without A Day in the Life on the label. This is a rare one. And the 1969 silver black Parlophone label with 1 EMI box mono, this is also very rare. Stereo is not rare, but mono is rare. Okay, this is one has to be considered. And also, what's most distinguishable thing about first pressing is that the second side, after the A Day in the Life is finished, the chord, you have the high frequency noise that only dogs can hear, and also this endless loop. The original vinyls, the original pressings, if you played none on the modern turntable, but fully mechanical, it will never stop. It will be endless groove. You have to stop it by hand. First pressings have that loop with a gibberish noise, and if you leave the needle, it will be endless. You have to stop it with your hand. I mean, that is the distinguishing thing that distinguishes the original from the others. I mean, for example, the American one does not have that groove. It cuts after the song, and that groove was added to Rarities in 1980 to the American version. And also I had the mono version of American pressing where only the first second of that groove was left with the song A Day in the Life, and then it stopped. I mean, it was not cut properly, so the A Day in the Life is finished, the gibberish starts, and automatically it stops. So I had that version, but I gave it away. I don't know why. So that is how you distinguish the original British pressing from all the others. So I just wanted to talk about the rumors about Paul is dead and show you all the possibilities that were hidden, if I may say so, hidden on the cover, because obviously nothing was intentional and people just started looking for things. Well, first of all, here we have 3-string bass guitar, left-handed, which spells P-A-U-L and the question mark. That's the first thing that people found. Also, if you look at the pictures here, Paul McCartney is the only one who's standing straight. All the others are standing on the side, with the side, and Paul is the only one who's holding black instrument, and his head is under hand, you know.
So all those rumors, and what else can we yeah, also the type of the car that he crashed. And also, if you take a mirror, we have here Lonely Hearts. If we put a mirror on the center of these words, we can see the following. The last three letters spell die. The first two letters spell he. And if you see between he and die, there is a straight line, which is the fourth place, looking at George. Now, if we put the mirror here, we can see X. It's on the second place, is looking at Paul. And then we have another two straight lines, the first one and the fourth one, which means two straight lines showing on John and Ringo. So we have line, X, then line, which is line, X, line. And then the last word spells he, die. So it's very, very interesting thing. I'm not sure if you are aware about it or not, but that's a fact. So fans can come up with many, many different theories, but that's one of the most interesting theories ever. Okay, so that was the part of Paul is dead thing, which I don't believe, but I thought might be interesting, you know, just a little piece of trivia. Okay, now let's look at the gatefold, and the most popular thing is that he has here OPP, which is sometimes people think that it's officially pronounced dead, but it's no, it's not. It's OPP. It's Ontario Police Patrol. Its rumor is that Lennon was ticketed in Ontario, and he just took the logo of the police department and just like the badge and put it here. So it has nothing to do with the Paul is dead thing. And also here on the back cover, Paul is the only one who is looking with it, who is standing with his back, and George's finger here is facing on 5 o'clock. That's the time that he was, I don't know, crashed or something. And Paul is the highest one, is within you, without you on his head. And what else? George's finger is L, John's hands is V, and Ringo's hands is E, so it's spelling love, you know, and all those rumors that...
Okay, so that was Sgt. Pepper Press Review. Thank you very much for watching, and that was difficult video to make. That was a very long video to make, but I hope you like it. And the next one comes Magical Mystery Tour. There will be a 2-part video because I have 4 British EPs and I have 4 full Magical Mystery Tour albums, but actually 5. So it's gonna be 1 video but 2 parts. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I wish everybody to be healthy, and it's getting better all the time. Bye bye.